Hi everybody, welcome to another vlog. Today we're gonna head out to QE Park, visiting the Queen. Gonna do a little bit more discussion on about getting outside your comfort zone, about the quote. What does it mean to you when you see the quote, "Life begins outside your comfort zone"? I'm going to try to explain a traveling story that kind of gave me a bit of life, a little bit of growth when it comes to getting outside my comfort zone. It's about a business trip. I'll do my story when I'm at QE, so stay tuned. Hi everybody, how are you doing today? So today I'm going to talk about something that took me out of my comfort zone and happened about a year and a half ago, my business trip to Georgia. And yeah, it was one of those trips that kind of caught me off guard. Like, they told me a couple of months ahead and I had to pack up and go for a trip. But it's my first time, you know, getting out of my shell and talking and speaking in public, other than my room and in my car. So it is a little bit more nerve-wracking to be filming out here at the QE Park today. So right now I'm pretty uncomfortable filming with a lot of people looking around, but I guess this is part of the practice to come out and start speaking in public. But yeah, let's continue with the talk about Georgia, or traveling to Tbilisi. It was really an eye-opening experience. I think I felt every week I was willing to go a little further during the weekends to travel, and by the end of the trip, I didn't want to leave, surprisingly, even though I was away from home for 2 months. A couple of nice tourist destinations I went to. One of them was Nicolai Castle. That was beautiful there. Old castle, and let's avoid people. So as I was getting more comfortable in Georgia, I was able to travel a lot further distance, taking a taxi, although I had to get the people at the hotel to order taxis for me, but those taxis would take me to neighboring cities, to another city called Mesquite, which is an old capital in the old country. That was really quite a journey. It was like from Vancouver to like Surrey, about 40-minute drive or so. Taxi also drove me on the way to a Joby monastery, which was amazing. The Joby monastery was actually in a hill that's in between Tbilisi and Mesquite. And from Joby monastery, I was able to look down onto the merging river. Forgot what those rivers were called, but merging river, and you can see the city of Mesquite from the top of the mountain there. I was probably the furthest I went, all the way to Mesquite to visit a couple of the churches there. It was a cathedral and a monastery, and talk about a little bit more about Georgians. They're really religious, mostly Christians, and the taxi driver, even when he drove me, he also went with me to all the cathedrals to pray, and that was pretty interesting. And the taxis there, they're willing to wait for you because the fares is a lot cheaper, but you have to negotiate beforehand. But with the one that took me to Mesquite, I recall not negotiating with him before, but he didn't overcharge me either. He was a really nice guy. Didn't know English at all, but he knew where I wanted to go because obviously I had to write down the places in Georgia in Georgian language beforehand. A lot of the Georgians there know Russian because it used to be part of the country of Russia, and they're pretty much neighboring Russia. Russia is to the north of Georgia, so it's pretty interesting. So last but not least, the last weekend, I went to the Chronicles of Georgia, which were massive pillars, and each pillar were depicting the story of the life of Jesus. And thought that was an amazing place. It was peaceful, there was nobody around, and it was facing the ocean. It was really surreal, really peaceful there. And it gave me the time to reflect through the whole trip and telling myself, wow, I've kind of left the city 2 weeks in a row now. Not really intimidated by the people anymore, not intimidated by the trip. Just, yeah, I didn't want to leave by the end of the trip, so I guess that's growth for you right there. So doing this business trip was the first time ever by myself for 7 weeks. 1 week I was with my coworker, who we managed to overlap our trip together, which I think saved my life, because he's a really reliable. He's one of the leads of the project, and he showed me around how to facilitate all the meetings with the client, which I had no idea how to do, and I would say I wasn't really trained properly to. I was just kind of thrown into totally stranger place with people who not all the people speak English. Still having trouble speaking properly in front of a camera, but the trip itself really took me out of my comfort zone, but I felt coming back I was a different person, although I didn't get a chance to take care of myself because I was living in a hotel. I had to call room service most of the time, and
but not for my food, because not too much.
Wasn't able to learn to cook, which actually was one of my goals going there, but it's okay. I had a chance to take care of myself for a month, do my own laundry, hand wash my laundry, because I was too cheap to pay for laundry in the hotel, and yeah. So one of the last things I'm going to talk about was the ride from the hotel to the airport on my trip back. It was at 3 a.m. in the morning. The BP truck, or not truck, the BP taxi came and picked me up. And on the way to the airport, I have to go past the Nicolai fortress again, and that area, that scene, I will remember for the rest of my life. Going past on the highway, looking down the whole castle and the whole river and all the bridge and all that, just telling me the trip was over. It was like, whoa, those 2 months went by really, really quickly, and it's a scene I'll never forget. So we're going to wrap up this vlog for today. I think I did help when I shortened the clips a little bit more. Able to look through my notes and kind of gather my thoughts before presenting them to you guys. I hope you enjoy this vid, and I'll see you guys next time.